to make one of the most delicious and undeniably iconic yet easy to make all-day breakfast dishes on the planet called sirniki, we need a cheese known as tvorog, otherwise known as farmer's cheese. Same but different to cottage cheese, easily made with milk, kefir and a little patience. But that's a video for another day. Yet the good news, you can use either for this recipe. When you get your tvorog, it might be a bit chunky or crumbly, which is a good sign. To make sure we end up with a successful endeavor, we press the cheese through a fine meshed sieve to make sure everything mixes evenly and cooks correctly. Remember, avoiding problems is easier than dealing with them. We need 1 kilo or 2.5 pounds of cheese for this recipe, although you can easily scale it down or up, as tiny or as large as you want. Your cheese should not be too wet nor too dry once pressed through the sieve. If it's very watery, dry it with a paper towel. This is the consistency you're after. Tvorog is generally drier than cottage cheese, so if you use cottage cheese, be ready to get rid of some of the moisture first. To the cheese you add 3 large egg yolks. The whites stay in your fridge for a tasteless omelette, or send it to New Zealand where they make pavlovas all day long. Give it a little mix, then to that you add 100 grams or a little less than a cup of powdered sugar, followed by 100 grams and a little less than a cup of all-purpose flour, as well as 3 grams or half a teaspoon of salt, and 5 grams or 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Combine it all very well until fully homogeneous. The texture should neither be too dry nor too wet. Once you have that, we line a tray with baking paper. Set it aside for now while you get to this very important step. I like weighing these into 50-gram pieces, but feel free to eyeball it or use an ice cream scoop. You also want to flour your workbench with regular flour for rolling these into neat little hockey pucks. Firstly, you get them into perfectly round balls. From here you have 2 choices to get them into shape. Using a palette knife like this with an even, long, not sharp blade, or carefully a regular knife, taking care not to hurt yourself. To get it into a perfectly-ish shape, you go around the outside, then give it a few taps, top and bottom. Alternatively, you can use a round pastry cutter and swirl it around in there. Pat it down a bit and you have a perfect hockey puck, which in my view is a lot easier and also gets you a perfect shape. Your life, your choice though. As you shape these, you place them onto your lined baking sheet. Once they're all done, it's best practice to place them into the freezer for about 30 minutes to firm up. They can also happily live there for a very long time, until you are ready to cook them one day. But before we cook these, let's make a quick, optional, yet highly necessary cherry jam. As well as turn your oven to 160 degrees Celsius or 320 degrees Fahrenheit. To a saucepan, we add 600 grams or 1 1/3 pounds of frozen or freshly pitted sour cherries, followed by 200 grams or 1 cup of sugar, as well as 15 grams or 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, and the zest of half a lemon. Mix that all well and let it simmer on medium heat. Take care so it doesn't overboil or, God forbid, burn. Steadily, with an eye on it, cook it until the thermometer reads 106 degrees Celsius or 224 degrees Fahrenheit. If you don't have a thermometer, eyeball it until it thickens slightly and looks like this. But for best results, get a thermometer. You and everyone you feed will appreciate it. Once that's done, you pour it into a ceramic or glass bowl and cover it with a piece of parchment paper to avoid a skin forming on top. Place it into the fridge or freezer to cool down. This can be made well in advance and kept in the fridge, or can it and it'll last till the end of days. Heat a pan on low to medium heat and add a little, but not too little, fat or oil of your choice. Anything but butter will work, as that will burn. Carefully place your sirniki into the warm oil away from yourself. Then flip them once they are golden to dark brown. These burn in a split second, so keep an eye on them. Cook them both sides until looking mighty fine. Then back onto the parchment lined tray they go. Bake them in the oven for about 12 minutes or until they just start to souffle. Once these are done, you should let them cool down for a few minutes, because they will have a lava hot center and cause quite painful internal burns if you choose to eat them straight away. They will have a mesmerizing little jiggle and a wonderful sweet aroma. And when cut in half, you'll see the fluffiness inside. Kind of what you would see if you cut me in half. Serve them while still warm though, and only share them with someone you love. With a big dollop of sour cream and a little, but not too little, sour cherry jam. But most importantly, go live a happy life.